Okay, sorry, had to do 2 videos. I paused it. I don't know what happened. One of these days I'm gonna get the hang of this stupid thing. So it's frozen again. I'm gonna go through, do these clumpies. You can see very much looks like sand. Now if you have a few big pieces of butter, it's not the end of the world. We want most of it though to be looking like sand, which this is. It's nice and chilled, exactly what we want. And the good part about this is once you make it, let's say we don't use all this crumble. Let's say we put it on, we get a put layer on, it's a good layer, and we still have some left. You can save it. Just put it in a baggie, put it in your freezer, and then if you want to add crumble to anything, it's good on pancakes after you cook them. But, so, crumble doesn't have to go to waste. You don't have to use it all right away. It doesn't have to go to waste. It's real easy to store. So I rather have too much crumble than not enough. So I don't really see any big chunkies. I don't see a lot of, I don't see any hard pieces of brown sugar. I don't see any of the spice. Remember when we were pouring it in, some of the spices were kind of clumpy. I don't see any of that. It feels like sand. It looks like sand. It's good to go. So I'm gonna do a quick rinse in my hands. And here's where we gotta be quick. So we've got our crumble. We've got our dry. We have our wet. We have our pan that, see from the shine, I sprayed it down just with oil. You can do oil, butter, doesn't matter. Okay, and these pans, I love these pans because you can just pop them. I prefer these than the metal ones, but that's just me. Doesn't really matter, it's a preference thing. All right, and the other thing, my blueberries are ready. You don't want big chunky blueberries for 2 reasons. One, the smaller you get, the more blueberry you get in your slice or in your muffin. The other thing is, all fruit adds water to your, whatever you're cooking. I'm sure you've watched Cake Wars or one of the cake shows, and they add fresh strawberries to the batter and it doesn't cook. It's because the water in the berries, it's too much, and then it throws your water ratio off and the chemistry can't happen. So the smaller the blueberries, the less water when they burst, when they cook, is going into your batter. So that's important. So these little containers, little story about Mom. When I was a teenager, I lived by a blueberry patch, and one of my very first jobs was picking blueberries. We'd go out with our buckets, we'd pick our blueberries, we were paid by the pound, and we would just they'd just weigh our buckets, and that's how we got paid. And then they would just take them and throw them into these containers. These containers are awesome. One, to wash them in, you can use both sides, and then you can sort through them. Okay, you can make sure there's no leaves, there's no stems, there's no blueberries that have burst open that are starting to get yucky, there's no mushy ones. You can actually sort through them. See, there's one that's a little mushy. Okay, and then you can rinse them. Okay, you can take this off, take it over your sink, give it a good shake, get as much of the water out as possible. Clean blueberries. So that is how you kind of choose these blueberries. Okay, if you see any that are even questionable, just toss them. You got a bunch more. So I think those look good. All right, so we want to be quick. I'm gonna move these 2 things off to the side. Then I'm gonna get my wooden spoon, because we're not mixing, we're not with the whisk, because that's too much. We want to fold, okay? So here's our egg, butter, and sour cream, okay? We're gonna pour this all in our dry. Okay. As much of it as we can. And we're just going to start folding. And when they say fold, think of it like you're folding a towel. You're going to take it and fold it over, turn, take it, fold it over. So we're taking, folding it over, folding it over. Okay. When it gets to about here, where most of the flour you see starting to get wet, we're starting to get this batter. Okay. Starting to form. Now, if we were to add milk, this would have been a lot more runny. We don't want it runny because we're making it into a loaf. Okay. But it's mostly wet. Okay. Now we're going to add our blueberries. The whole, I think this is 6 ounces. So your whole 6, it's a little thing. It's a little guy. Okay. Now we're going to start. Now it's still not forming a batter. That's okay. Okay? Because if we need to, which it looks like we do, we can add either, let's see, where'd it go? You can add either some milk, or I'm going to put heavy cream because I want it to have fat. So you just do a little bit. Okay. See, now it's starting to stick. I'm going to add a little more. And this is, I've done about a 1/4 cup. Probably going to add another 1/4 cup. You can see it's starting to form a dough, which is what we want. Okay. There's another 1/4 cup. Okay. Now we can see it's now a batter. We're not stirring, we're not whisking, we're folding. Flip over, pull. If some of your blueberries pop, that's okay. They're gonna pop in the oven anyway. Okay. Everything, it's pretty tacky. It's thick, that's what we want. Okay. So, now we're gonna put this in our pan. Whew. Okay. Gonna spread it out as even as we can, because remember it's pretty thick. That's okay, that's what we want. Make it as even as we can. With these bendy things, sometimes it makes it a little difficult. Okay. Get some water flowing in that. We're going to use that in a minute. Now we're going to take our crumble. We're just going to nice layer on top. I'm going to get all the edges. All right. We don't see any wedges. We're good to go. Made a mess. That's okay. I'm going to stick this in the oven. I'm going to wash my hands right quick. And we're going to start on the next one, which is the lemon poppy seed. So I'll put that in. Wash my hands right quick. I'm going to start a timer for, let's see, I think it's 20 minutes. So, set your timer for 20 minutes. All right. Then do a good rinse of this bowl. Doesn't have to be perfect because we're basically making the same thing. Just showing you how you can flavor it different. All right. You do want to dry out your bowl for the simple fact that this is your dry ingredient bowl. And we know if it gets wet, what happens. We're going to set that aside. We're done with our crumble. I will be putting that in a Ziploc bag and freezing the rest. So it's good to go whenever I want it. We'll do a quick sweep. Okay. Alrighty. So, now we're going to do lemon poppy seed. Now, lemon poppy seed is really fun. It's really, really fun, actually. So, unlike a blueberry muffin or an apple muffin, you can't really do a crumble with lemon poppy seed because I think it would taste absolutely horrible putting lemon and cinnamon together. It's just not something I think of doing. But we do need something on top to make it a little fun. So we're going to do, this is yellow sanding sugar. And we're going to put a good amount in the bowl, because we want to have enough to sprinkle on all our muffins. Okay? And I want to flavor my sanding sugar lemon. How do you do that? Well, I'm going to show you. So here's a lemon. I have washed it in cold water. Don't wash in hot water. Wash in cold water. And I'm going to kind of massage it. And as you massage it, you're releasing the oils that are in the skin. And you can see, you'll start to smell it really. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can see it's starting to, the oils are starting to come out and it's really starting to permeate the skin, okay? Now, the oils are what's going to flavor the sugar. Now, some people go like this. How I like to do it is I like to and notice I'm not going very deep. I'm getting the yellow, but I'm not getting the white. The white is called pith, and the white is bitter. So you want to get as little of the white as possible. So you just kind of go down, catches it all right here. Okay? You can see how shiny it is. You can feel it starts to get kind of slippery because the oils, you can see, I don't know if you can see. Oh, there you go. You see the glow? That's the oils. That's going to be flavoring this sugar. So we've got this lemon. We're just going to do one. Get as much of it as we can. Does not have to be perfect. But don't go too deep. Just kind of one pass. So top to bottom. Okay? So there we go. You want to get, if you have little hands like me and can't go the whole way, get up at top. Okay. So see, we haven't gone, you don't see any stark white. See all this? We're going to just top it in there. Put this lemon to the side because we're going to use it in a little bit. We're going to get a spoon. We're going to stir it up with the sugar. The sugar is going to kind of stick to that lemon zest. That is what zesting is, by the way. This is a microfiche. That's what we use to zest. Okay. See how much brighter yellow that became? Yeah, you'll be able to really smell it. And this is what we're going to top our lemon poppy seed with. So we're going to set this aside. I'm sure you can see the sugar looks wet because it is. It's wet with the oils, the natural oils from the lemon. Okay. So we're going to do it again. The base of your muffins is always the same. So, first thing we're going to do is 1.5 cup of flour. So, 1.5 cup of flour. All right, 1.5 cup of flour. Then it is 3/4 cup of white sugar. Probably gonna have to open a new sugar. That's okay. I have one. That's about 1/4. So let me open this new sugar. Number 3/4 white sugar. Okay. And then we need 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Which is right here. Two, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Okay, we're going to get our butter in the microwave, which was 1/3 cup. That up. I'm going to get that in the microwave, and then we are going to do something a little bit different with this before we give it a mix. Okay, 30 seconds. All right. So, we've already used this lemon. I have a second lemon. And we're going to use this lemon in here to kind of get those oils into the flour. So you want to roll it, get those oils going. Okay, I don't know if you can see my hand, how oily it is now. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing. Don't want the pith, just want that top shiny, yellowy, oily part. And if you need a measurement, at least I always do 1 large lemon. If you want to do more, it's not going to hurt. If you want to do less, it's not going to hurt. You're just not going to have as much lemon flavor. So, if you want to do orange, let's say you want to do orange cranberry muffins. You would do this with the orange, any citrus. Lime, if you want to do a key lime muffin, this is what you do. This is how you flavor it. So you can see I've gotten as much of that yellow, shiny yellow as I can, giving it a good thing. I do not have another whisk, but that's okay. We'll just use another spoon. We're going to mix this right good. So those oils start to infuse into the flour. That's all that's doing. The longer it infuses, the more flavor we'll get. So that's why we do it now. All right, now we're going on to our liquid. Now, it's still got some in there, not a big deal, because it's the exact same thing. Okay, here's our butter. Our 1 warm egg. I shouldn't say warm, I should say room temperature. Okay. And sour cream. So, let me do that. Whoop. There we go. All right, I'm going to get my whisk, rinse it off a little bit, give this a good stir. Now, you can do a few things here. You can either, because you've rolled this, the juice inside the lemons is, you can see it's pretty squishy. You can either get it, cut it in half, juice the lemon in here, or you can add extract. Okay? I'm going to use the juice. One thing the juice does do is it does is when you put an acid with dairy, if this was milk, it would turn it into buttermilk. But we use sour cream. It's already going to have a little bit of that sour taste to it, so we're not worried about that. But if you were, I would tell you to use the extract. But since we're not worried about that, we've already got a good lemon good to go. Go ahead and do that. Do the whole lemon. If you don't have one of these fancy little juicer things, just squeeze it with your hand. I just have the gadgets. Doesn't matter. Just makes things a little easier. But you don't have to have the gadgets. Okay, so we're going to start with 1 lemon. Give it a good stir. Okay, now you're going to taste. I really don't taste lemon. So I could do 1 more of these, but I'm not going to. I'm going to take my lemon extract because I really want to taste that lemon flavor. It's lemon poppy seed, you know. I'm going to do 1 teaspoon of the lemon extract. And remember, it's got sour cream in it, so it's going to taste a tiny bit sour, which is okay. And do 1 more. You just add the extract because you're not adding too much liquid when you do extract. Until it tastes the way you want it. Come and do 1 more. Okay, that's good. All right. Now, the other thing you need for this recipe is poppy seeds. Now poppy seeds are really fun. Here is a little gem, I guess, knowledge gem. Poppy seeds. Do you know what color they are? They are purple. When they cook, they look black, but they are purple. And let's see if I can get a single one. Can get it real. Let's see if I can. Oops. All right, there we go. Right here. Can you see that? They are not round. They're kidney bean shaped. Ooh! So, that's just, doesn't mean anything. It's just a little fun fact. So, if you're playing Jeopardy and they ask you what shape is a poppy seed, it's kidney bean shape. What color? Purple. So, I'm going to add about a tablespoon in there. Okay? So, here we go. Where is my spoon? Here's my spoon. Okay, I have my trays. There, let me grab them, I'll bring them over here. Set them right here. Get this juicer right here. Alrighty. All right. There we go. Gonna just kind of fold. Okay, now what makes this one a little different than the last one, our flavoring in our last one, we're getting from our berries. For this one, we're getting it from the batter. So you want to make sure your batter tastes like lemon. Okay? So we've got the lemon juice, we've got the lemon extract, and we've got the lemon zest in here. Okay? See how it's still kind of crumbly? We're going to have to add some kind of liquid, but before we add milk, we want to make sure we can taste our lemon. So you're just going to take a little piece of your dough. I don't taste it. So I'm going to add more, because we need more liquid, I'm going to add more of the juice. I've got a second lemon, might as well, right? Now this isn't going to add a lot of liquid. But that's okay. So we can always add milk if we need to. Okay. Stir this up. See how it's starting to look more like the batter. All right. Let's try this again. I can taste the lemon, which is good. As it cooks, that lemon flavor, because we have the zest in it, will come out more. But I want my batter a little more liquidy because it's going into the cupcakes, or muffin shape, I should say. So I'm going to take 1/4 cup of milk. Okay. Give it a good stir. Okay. All right, that is looking a little better, but I still want a little bit more runny. So I'm gonna do another 1/4 cup. So when it's a loaf, you want it super thick. When it's muffins, you want it more runny. Don't ask me why. Maybe because it's smaller, cooking in smaller instead of big. There we go. That's about the consistency you want. Okay. All right. So got my scoop. Okay. And I like the scoops because 1, makes it easy. 2, then they're all the same. And you can scoop it really fast. Alrighty. Put that in the sink. That one's a little sparse, so we're going to scrape it nice. Add it to there. There we go. That one might be a little bit small, but that's okay. All right, now we didn't use all of them. That's okay. Now we're going to take our sanding sugar that we have been having sitting there with the lemon zest, and you're going to kind of sprinkle. It's going to be extremely wet because that oil, but that's okay. That wetness just is going to give you more flavor. It's not going to do anything to the actual muffin. And we're also going to add a little more that lemon flavor, a little more sweetness. And the reason you use what's called sanding sugar, and you find sanding sugar in like with the sprinkles, is because those sanding sugar, the crystals are bigger. They don't really dissolve as much. You can see on my fingers, they stay crystals. They don't really dissolve, which is what we want. All right, so I'm going to pop these in the oven. And I'm going to check really quick on my loaf because my timer is about to go off. And you can see it's definitely not done. It's jiggly, but it's starting to. So I'm going to put it back in before it falls. And the loaf is going to take longer than the muffins because the loaf has to cook all the way through the middle. So I'm going to set the timer for the muffins. Actually, I'm going to set a timer for 10 more minutes to check on my loaf. The muffins will need about 20 minutes or so, possibly more. We'll have to see. But remember, normally you would not take out the loaf because that heat is what's making it rise. I did it just to show you what it looked like. But you want to keep that oven nice and hot. You want to keep that directly in your oven. So I'm going to pause. I'm going to clean up. I'm going to, in 10 minutes, I'm going to check it. When it's done, I'll pull it out and I'll start the video again to show you what the loaf should look like and then show you what the muffins should look like.